Hello everybody, Tommyruin here and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be going over why strength is the superior stat for casters in Project Ascension. Now that might sound ridiculous to those who haven't played much Ascension, but hopefully by the end of this video you will agree that it makes the most sense to stack strength if you are playing most casters. I'm sure there are some exceptions, but most casters will be using strength as their main stat in a raid. So here we are, we're on the TBC alpha. I'm using this because I don't want to spend gold to respec my main, but the point still stands. It works on live, it works exactly the same. But we're here on the TBC alpha. We've got nothing going on our character here, nothing here, so we've got no gear on, and we're just going to try and see what happens when we stack strength and then compare it to how much spell power we get when we stack intellect. So let's just take all of our stat points out quickly, and I will go into the talents and show you what I've got set up already. So I've set up all of the buffs to mimic what you'd have in a raid environment. So we've got improved Mark of the Wild to give us those extra stats. We've got aspect of the beast for when we're strength stacking, strength stacking to get the extra attack power. We've got arcane intellect for the intellect stacking. We have got Blessing of Kings and Blessing of Might. We're not actually going to be using Blessing of Might just because we're going to be using Battle Shout as well, so we can have Blessing of Kings and Battle Shout up at the same time to get as many buffs up as possible so we can better mimic what it would be like in a raid. We have got Strength of Earth Totem to increase the amount of strength that we're going to get, and then like I said, we've got Battle Shout to get the AP buff instead of Blessing of Might. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you the strength stacking route that spellcasters would take, which uses mental quickness. So this increases your bonus spell damage by amount equal to 15% of your melee attack power when you max it out. So let's put all the talent points in there. So 15% of your melee attack power goes into your spell power, and already from our base stats you will see that we've got 25 bonus spell damage now, and that's just from our base stats. We haven't got any stat points put in, so that's just what your character has when you're at level 61. You'll have 25 bonus spell damage just from 5 talent points. But then, oh sorry, no, we'll take off those buffs because that's slightly misleading. We've got 14 with no buffs, so that's 14 spell power for just 5 talent points. Let's take those talent points out now, and we'll go into the druid. So that's 5 talent points. We're going to put 3 in here, so that's 10, and then we're going to put 2 in a mage. This is the spell power by intellect talents, and we're going to see. So to mimic 5 talent points, we can only get to 14%, so it's slightly less, but we have 5 bonus spell damage, which is much less than the 15 that we had before. So you're already starting to see why strength, just baseline, might be better than intellect. So let's take those talent points out again, and we will start strength stacking, and I'll show you with all the buffs up and all of the stat points in why it's so much better. So let's get all those points in mental quickness again. So we're just going 5 mental quickness. We'll put 150 points into strength, and we'll put the rest into intellect because that's what I normally do when I'm casting for the extra mana. And we will buff up, and I'll show you how much strength we get. Sorry, how much spell power. So we get bonus 119 spell damage just from buffs and that 5 talent points. That's crazy, right? That is pretty crazy. So 5 talent points, you get 119 spell power, and that is with no gear on, by the way. So that's 119 spell power free when you're in any raid group that you wouldn't get from another talent set. So let's go and then just do our intellect stacking again, just to show you what you get for the same point power. So that's 3 in there, and once again we're going to go 2 in here. It's 14, not 15%, but you'll see what I mean. There's no comparison, even if it's just 1% different. This is what I would go. Look at that, 32 bonus spell damage stacking intellect. That's mad. That is really mad. And you're probably saying, right, if you put gear on, it'll be better. So when we have no stat points in with gear on, this is all intellect gear, by the way. So intellect, 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 intellect. So this is intellect gear. We have base 259. Oh, sorry, that's not base because we have got those talent points in. So let's have a look and see what our base spell power is. So our base spell power here is 223. That's just from gear. We've only got 223 spell power from gear. So if we were to then go strength stack again, we got our 5 talent points in, 290. That's our base from our base stats. Let's put our strength in and we'll see what the total is. So our total is 343. So let's see if we can get better than 343 spell power just using intellect. Because we've got intellect on all the gear, so it should, you'd think, would make it better, but let's see. So we've got 150 intellect. Let's put those talent points in again. Where are we? Here we go. $283 with our max intellect. So I hope you guys can see now why strength stacking for the attack power is better than intellect. This is just an actual demonstration of why. The reason is because you get so much more attack power from other sources than you do intellect. And even with all intellect on your gear, you'll never get enough to outmatch the attack power that you get from various buffs and from strength. It's worth noting that attack power from strength is doubled. So for 1 strength you get 2 attack power, which means you're basically getting double the amount of stats you would compared to intellect. So for 150 points into strength, you're getting 300 attack power compared to 150 points into intellect, where you're getting 150 intellect. So you're getting double the stats, and then that bonus is increased by the various attack power buffs that you get when you're playing Project Ascension in a raid group. So if you're playing a caster, most casters I highly recommend going down the strength stacking route, because you get so much more attack power than you would if you were to be just using intellect. So I hope that video has helped you guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But this is a well-known fact for most veterans on Ascension, I'd say. But for those who are new to Ascension and you're wondering how you get the most out of your character, this is how you do it. You want to be looking for tips like this and looking at builds and seeing why and asking why people are doing things that they're doing, because there is a reason, and strength stacking casters is definitely one of those tips that you want to be picking up on. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.